And welcome back. It's time for our Capitol Report with CapitolBeatOK.com's Pat McGuigan. Pat, let's talk about water again here. Recently, the mediator in this case created a water task force as part of the effort to resolve this ongoing litigation over rights among the state of Oklahoma, the Choctaws and the Chickasaws. What do you make of this task force, and is it going to be able to resolve this issue?
No.
Okay.
It won't be able to resolve the issue. However, I'm not sure what I think of it. They're all substantive people. I think it will not resolve the issue, and I'd probably be more concerned if I thought there was going to be a serious effort to resolve the issue, and I put resolve in quotes. And there's a lot of reasons. If it meant more, I'd be more concerned.
Were you surprised at who was named to it, or were there any surprises as to who was named to the task force?
Oh, some of the individuals, but not the interests represented. You have one of the little, hypersensitive activist water groups, and that is kind of the only representation those folks got. You basically have, if it was going to be more substantive, the reason I'd be concerned is the limitations on the group involved. If you want to have collaboration and major resolution, it takes years. Maps for Kids would be a good example that at least achieved better infrastructure in Oklahoma City public schools. You're going to do something like that, you need everybody from Thelma Parks on over to Kirk Humphreys and everybody in between. This is a limited group, and the small tribes are not represented at all. I don't think small landowners, forgive me if I'm wrong, viewers, but I don't think small landowners in southeastern Oklahoma are represented. It's the tribes, the state government, but not the legislature, and the activists and then business interests. So I think it's too limited to actually achieve a resolution.
Okay, so you don't really see this achieving a resolution. Do you see this at least being a step in the right direction?
I don't know. We'll see, because the confidentiality ordered by the court, it sort of mirrors the DHS situation, where we don't know what the three arbiters are doing in the DH case. Similarly in this, it's all confidential because it's under federal court protection. I don't think it's necessarily a step in the right direction. I think that without the legislature involved, which will eventually have to put some kind of a seal of approval on it, and for that matter, because it's water policy, without the feds involved in terms of policy, but only through the courts, I think it's inadequate.
All right, well, let's change topics. I see you wore your blue tie. You're ready to talk some Democratic politics today. Let's talk about Obama and some recent polling showing that perhaps he could be in some real trouble here come November. What is some of the data to support that notion? Well,
if you just look at the surface, he has a narrow lead in some polls and he's narrowly trailing in other polls. And you would expect him to be a little bit stronger as the incumbent president. And then there's an explanation under that that's probably a deeper worry than those raw numbers in the totals. And here's why I say that. A couple of different sets of polling data. Gallup polls over several months about the president's support and some weakening among key demographic groups that supported him overwhelmingly in some cases and strongly in others in 2008. That's Gallup. And then Resurgent Republic, which is a Republican-leaning group, but substantive people, serious pollsters, guided by Haley Barbour. Now, you blend all this together and you find that blue-collar Catholics have the same concerns about the economy as other minority constituencies. That's kind of interesting. They were overwhelmingly for Obama in 2008, and he's much weaker with them now, and their key concerns are the economies, not some of the other issues you might expect from Catholics. Similarly, suburban women, seniors, independents, young voters, that's a real, because they always participate in lower percentages. They were slightly higher last time around, and they were overwhelmingly for Obama. This time, 2/3 of them in some of the polls say they think the country's on the wrong track. So I think the Hispanics, including Hispanics in Florida, especially multi-generation American Hispanics, people that have been here for a second generation or longer, add all that up, and I think that the president has some issues.
I guess that may be putting it mildly. You can read more about this and other topics at CapitolBeatOK.com. For Pat McGuigan, I'm Alex Cameron. Have a great Saturday.